unions! Move your money! America lend us drug money! Move your money!
Don't handle it, guys. Be fair. It's just needs some food or something. The student debt, they turn off the student debt. Does anybody else want to speak about their student debt? I have $33,000 in student debt for a degree that can't make more than minimum wage. The lenders, if we had bankruptcy protection, lenders would never have given me that loan because there's no way I can pay it off. But because there is no risk, because there's no bankruptcy protection, they were more than willing to give me a loan that they knew I could never pay off. Sure, I should have been aware of the risks, but I'm not an expert. They are. Robert Applebaum, who is a New York lawyer, is currently running a petition online at MoveOn.org to request that the Congress consider forgiving student loan debt as an economic stimulus. Millions of people have student loan debt. That money goes to line Sallie Mae's pocket when we could be putting it directly back into the economy by buying food, buying goods, money that would immediately re-stimulate the economy. To disrupt the service have been numerous and immense. I encourage you all to check out the Hacker News. The Hacker News has information about Op Iran, Op Syria, Op Tunisia, Op Egypt. We in Portland need to express solidarity with the Arab Spring. The people in Tel Aviv. Did anybody see the pictures of 500,000 youth in Tel Aviv? Side by side, Arabs and Israelis united against this terrorist regime of war and greed.
20 people here, that does not change the hundreds of thousands or even millions of people marching around the world right now. The news, the mainstream media has stopped informing the people. Everywhere in the world, they divide us and they keep us in the dark. You have to understand that the only way to get information now is to go on the internet and seek it out yourself. Because even the best news agencies, even BBC or Al Jazeera or the ones who actually have historically provided information, and Russia Today, even the best ones are starting to tell us less and less about what's happening. And the mainstream media, CNN, Fox, have become totally useless for gathering information. They talk about the Arab Spring. They talk about the rising in Europe. They don't tell you that it's absolutely everywhere on earth people are rising. From Egypt to Tunisia, Mexico, South America, every country in Europe, every country in Africa. The most oppressed people on earth are standing up for themselves in China and North Korea and taking to the streets. As she mentioned, in Israel, Jews and Muslims are marching together side by side against war and against corruption. And if we don't stand by them here in America, then we do not stand for freedom and democracy. If we don't stand up in America to our tyranny, our secretive, backroom tyranny that controls not just America, but the entire world, then we are not united with the rest of the people of the world. We have to stand up now. This is only a very tiny protest. Obviously, everyone can see this. But we are raising awareness today, and there are future protests coming on the 6th of October, on the 15th of October.
In Salem.
It does not stop here. It never stops. It will never stop until the corporations and their puppet governments are tossed down. Any government in the world that stands against democracy will be overrun by its own people. Every corporation that funds such governments and bribes such governments will be dismantled. There is a new movement going on in the world that has never existed before. All the people of the world are uniting as one against corruption. And we must rise here too, because this is one of the main homes of corruption here in America and in Europe. These are the main epicenters of corruption, and if we don't fight it at the source, then the oppressed people of Africa and South America and East Asia and Central Asia, they can never have peace. In Egypt, our government has simply, after the fall of Mubarak, replaced Mubarak with a new military dictatorship. And that military dictatorship immediately tried to ban unions and strikes in Egypt. The people of Egypt have returned to Tahrir Square. They are there right now. Woo! And the government, our news, says nothing about it. They talk about the 1,000 people gathered around the Israeli embassies shouting death to America, while 30,000 people are gathered in Tahrir Square crying out for peace and democracy.
Yeah.
They don't want you to know what's happening. They want you to stay divided. They want us to think of ourselves as liberals and conservatives and Christians and Muslims and Jews and atheists. They don't want us to realize that we are all one people.
Yeah. No labels.
No more labels.
Hey, I would read this, or
Yeah.
anyone? Okay.
We demand that all student loans be fully dischargeable in bankruptcy court because the wealthy have their business and personal debts canceled when they declare bankruptcy. Because when the poor seek to have their debts canceled, they're told that their student loan debt is a non-dischargeable for life. We see the total abolition of bankruptcy discrimination against the poor and working classes. Students have no credit history when they enter college and seek to finance their education with student loans. No one will lend money on such a risky venture. This is an argument for the federal guarantee of student loans. It brings lenders to the table. But because there's no credit history on which the loans are made, student loans are not part of the credit markets. They are part of a modern system of indentured servitude. We demand an end to the student loan industry. We demand a 100% grant-based system for funding education instead. We demand that all debts be treated equally in bankruptcy courts. We demand bankruptcy discharge of all debts for rich and poor alike. Poor and working class students have been targeted for financial destruction by their own government. We seek an end to this system of economic predation. Bankers are gorging themselves on the broken dreams of the poor and vulnerable and the propagandized. Should naive, inexperienced teenagers from marginalized segments of society be signing lifetime non-dischargeable debt contracts with privileged, wealthy, experienced, middle-aged bankers? This maelstrom of exploitation and abuse will end. The politicians have given the banksters a multi-trillion-dollar bailout for their mortgage derivatives catastrophe. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac received billion-dollar bailouts. AIG was bailed out. The automakers were bailed out. Where is the bailout for the defaulted students? Our time is now and there will be action. Join Facebook, Student Loan Justice Portland. All right. Thank you for the speech over there. Thank you for the flyers.
Who wants to speak?
Folks, for the last 7, 8 years or 9 years, I've been coming out, to demonstrate against, the policies of the former administration and our current, our current policies. And there's one thing I've learned, folks, over the years, is that we need a super social movement in our country for students, for full health care and social programs and economic programs all around the country. And I remember, at the start of the Iraq War, when people shut down streets and shut down things. And folks, we have to have a super mass direct action, whether we put our mask on and get our black flags out. To me, people like Earl Blumenauer and all these people that say in the Democratic Party that are supposed to be on our side, are supposed to be on our side for the people, think it's too outrageous for full health care And we have to have, you know, even for our veterans, and come back a full social movement force. We have to take the streets back. We can't wait until November, whoever we get, Democrat or Republican. To me, it's all the same. We must take the streets back and shut this damn corporate system down.
They sold us the dream of going to school for free, that we can pay back our lives, our entire life into the system. They've been trying to split us for hundreds of years, but it's our turn now to let them know that we are not divided. You watch the television, you watch the corporate media, they tell us, you're divided. We're not divided. We have the wool over our eyes. You look at history, the last 100, 200, 600 years, these people have been trying to keep us down. They've been consolidating wealth through these super mega corporations. If you look at Benito Mussolini, he said himself, fascism is the merger between the state and the corporation. That is what we have today. Don't be fooled, the corporations are just puppets themselves. It's the people who print the money that have all the power. Mayor Rothschild, back in the 1800s, said, I do not care, as long as I print the money, I care not who makes its laws. We have to fight the real fight here, and that is the people that print our money, our fake money, our fiat money, that's inflation tax is growing. I went to the store the other day, I bought $5.50 in silver coins. It cost me $170. In 1964, $5.50 was worth $170. And they got me in debt way more than that, of real money. You have to educate yourself. You have to educate yourself with private media. There's many good places. The National Inflation Association has a wonderful list of documentaries. One is called The College Bubble. It's an hour and a half long. It tells you just how much you're in debt, just how much the corporations have taken over the college industry. And it is not a bipartisan government, like you were saying. It is a one-party government with two factions, so they can split us apart and make us think that we are separate.
To raise our voice and stop complaining behind closed doors. We have closed off our ears and will shun out news that we do not want to hear. We, as a people, need to stand up and fight for what we believe in.
Joe?
We are just laying on our couch, sitting at home, not doing a damn thing while lots of problems are going on.
I don't know if you guys know this, but also during World War II in Japanese internment, when all of the homes were consolidated, Bank of America actually took all of their money and used it to help start up as a company. So for all of the Japanese people who lost their homes during World War II, all of your money is now in Bank of America. Take it out. Also, what the hell is up with the news lying to people? What's with that? Why do they do that? How is that legal? How is this legal? Does anybody know how we can fight this? It's not legal to lie to people, and I think the missions of truth are lies. It's like all of these coups that America supports that the family was talking about earlier. Why doesn't America ever talk about that? Why are we controlling other parts of the world where, like, if you turn around that Free Bradley Manning sign now, and in back it says, stop terrorism, stop terrorizing. We know for a fact that terrorism comes from bombing other people's homes and countries. When we attack other countries, we're gonna make more terrorists. People are gonna hate us. It's like, it's common sense. It doesn't, I don't understand how people can just sit around, sit at home, and like, there's 20 good people out here, and like, where's everybody else? Why isn't everybody pissed off that they're lying to us, they're putting people in debt?
Shopping at Macy's.
Because they're
poor and
at
they have to
Macy's.
work all day long just to get food.
Right, that's right. We're all privileged enough to not have work on Saturday, to be out here, which is awesome. Which is, it's outrageous. It's not right.
Hot dog girl.
Yes.
We're going to walk to where others can actually hear us.
Okay. Macy's.
Thank you guys, the four of you at the bus stop, to where we're chasing. My sign. The best sign goes bus sign.
Which paper are you with, dude? What paper are you with? I'm with Portland Indie Media. So,
I'm ready for our voice to be heard. I am ready for people to go out into the streets and and to preach